BC greetings. I have returned from my trip. Back in the saddle here. Somewhat fresh, but we had a great time. Catching up on videos from you out there. Been a lot of good stuff being shown. And I got a lot to catch up on in life and in records. So, some cool things. I've been sort of thinking about just a couple of different topics from watching and comments that people have come through with. So this video is sort of a recap of some of those comments and sort of thoughts about little mini videos I could do, and I'm going to put them all together, except I'm going to keep out one thing. First, a thank you to Steve Carlson. This is my first bit of VCLT. Never got one before. Steve, thank you. You're the man. I mean, I love Zamrock, and I did a whole Zamrock video, which I'll link to. And this is Blackfoot, Youth Power, their first album. Interestingly enough, if I can find them here. By the way, this is the only other Vinyl Me Please pressing I have. I don't have any other Vinyl Me Please. I think this was Vinyl Me Please, and now again Reserve, but a Vinyl Me Please pressing, I think. I could be wrong, but this is Mike Mignoni and Born Free. Another Zambian record, so a little bit more funky. But let's see, where are they? So it's weird. Vinyl Me Please did a pressing of Blackfoot here, and I'm super happy to have this. I told Steve I think I had it, and then I thought I didn't because I saw I have these two Blackfoot records. These are both Strawberry Rain reissues. This one, Blackfoot Millie, is actually a reissue of this in terms of, this is the first cover, and this was the second cover originally from Zambia. So Strawberry Rain reissued the second cover. Vinyl Me Please reissued the first cover, which I think is a little cooler. This is the original cover, but the track is exactly the same. But booklet, I don't believe the Strawberry Rain issue has that. So Steve, thanks, man. I'm happy to have two different pressings of Zamrock records. I have a couple of Witch records that are different editions. I collect all the Zamrock, so don't have the box set, but I'm not a Vinyl Me Please guy, so what are you gonna do? But he did send me a nice note, and thank you, because I had sent him a record, and this was WTF. I think maybe this he just had. I don't know, is this your art, Steve? Are you a Marin guy? I like it. Anyway, thank you, Steve. I will happily add this to the Zamrock. So I was going back and forth with Johan, Phil That Man. We were talking about the Jeweled Antler Collective. I was like, oh wow, nobody ever mentions that group, that very DIY experimental group. Oh, by the way, we're listening to, if you didn't realize, Blackfoot, Youth Power, and it is excellent. But yeah, Johan and I were talking about the Jeweled Antler Collective, which was sort of a West Coast, I believe it was Arizona, collective of a few musicians doing very much outside experimental folk, involving field recordings, sort of lots of sparse instrumentation, very haunting vocals, more definitely kind of on the Tom Carter sort of thing, or Charlene Brides. I can never say that group's name. Coming from that school of folk music, it's not really folk music. It's definitely not radio friendly, let's say. But they love field recordings and recording outside, and they were primarily Jeweled Antler. It wasn't even really a label, it was just like a CDR imprint, sort of like an Elephant 6, but more experimental. And I thought it'd be cool to show some of the things I have. A lot of what they have are CDRs. I didn't really collect the CDRs at the time. I have a few CDs and some records. Jeweled Antler was primarily started by Glenn Donaldson, who basically plays some part in all of the different groups that were in Jeweled Antler. They're hardly even groups. It was basically Glenn Donaldson. I think Lauren Chase is the other guy's name who was primarily in it. a few other people, and they sort of just like came up with different names, different band names, and just recorded outside, and all really cool stuff. One of the big groups was Sky Green Leopards, which was Donovan Quinn. I have some of these records. These are on Jaguar. I think these are all really cheap, and that's why I'm going to probably look into grabbing some Jeweled Antler stuff, because it's from like the early aughts to like 2010, and most people sort of forgot about it, and you can get them cheap. This is Jaguar. Sky Green Leopards. This is on Woodcyst. I love this album. This is really more indie pop, but it's got some great songs on this. The title is Family Crimes, Sky Green Leopards. Right? Yeah. And this one, this is the most recent one I have, The Jingling World of the Sky Green Leopards. As you can see, this kind of collects their the CDR recordings that I was telling you about. Collection of first songs from the underground vaults of California's family band. This is on Soft Abuse, who also released a lot of the Jeweled Antler stuff on vinyl. If it was a Jeweled Antler release, it was like a CDR. They didn't do any vinyl. But Glenn Donaldson is really the guy. These are recorded 2001-2002 on Tascam 388. By Donovan Quinn and Glenn Donaldson. Jennifer Mavnesi sang on some songs. So this is my favorite of that Sky Green Leopard stuff. Also, this is an early CD on Soft Abuse, 1000 Bird Ceremony. This is definitely in that rural, outside, experimental sort of vein. There's another one, The Skull, is on like all the records. This is Disciples of California, sort of moving more into a folk poppy thing. And this one too, Life and Love and Sparrow's Meadow. Really interesting. Oh, I have another one. I have a lot of Sky Green Leopard CDs. Jehovah's Surrender. This is sort of the Jeweled Antler logo here. An antelope. These are all on Jaguar. So that's that. Here's another one. This never came out on vinyl. This is amazing. Flying Canyon. One and only record. Case Lidner, vocals, acoustic guitars. He actually passed away right after this was released. Glenn Donaldson is on this, as well as Donovan Quinn, who's another big Jeweled Antler guy. This is on Soft Abuse as well, released in 2006. Just self-titled Flying Canyon. Also, these are a few more recent things. There's been a little bit of a campaign to reissue some of this stuff. This is the Ivy Tree, and this is all Glenn Donaldson. Recorded outdoors and indoors in the San Francisco Bay Area, 2001-2004. Music and collages by Glenn Donaldson, and it is really collagey. The Ivy Tree, Unburdened Light. If you look up Glenn Donaldson, you'll see. Well, there's an outtake for you. So I'm going to leave that in because apparently I don't know how to handle vinyl. This is why I now have started. I used to keep my sleeves all so the record's fine, by the way, so the record would be easy to just slide right out. Now I'm locking them. I usually put the records behind the sleeves, but sometimes I don't. But if I am putting them in, now I lock it, and this is why. In any case, look up Glenn Donaldson. You'll find he's part of a million bands, including Painted Shrines with Jeremy Earl of Woods. But this is great. And here's one other one of Donovan Quinn in the 13th month. This is also on Soft Abuse. This is from like 2010. This is really nice stuff too. Permanent Records in Brooklyn, old sticker. Yeah, Jeweled Antler. I'm gonna start to look into some of the stuff because I think it can be had pretty cheap. Records, the CDRs are sort of like almost art pieces because I know they handmade them. But vinyl, baby. It's about vinyl. So that's Jeweled Antler. Perhaps some more to come. Recordings, Alex, Motorwreck 247, did a nice little feature on Jon Hassell, who just passed away. I have some Jon Hassell in the show, but I just love the music of Jon Hassell. It is truly of its own world. Doesn't sound like anyone else. Trumpet player, producer. I only have 3 records, which I'll show. I just ordered the first one on Discogs, which was not. I found it a non-inflated price. Earthquake, was it Earthquake Island on Tomato? I've seen that one all the time, and we used to have it in Angry Mom a lot, but I just never got it. I don't know. I just missed the boat. But I do have an original pressing of Vernal Equinox on Lovely Music, which I thankfully got that a while ago. Just beautiful. Alex did a great job, and I'll link to his video of sort of talking about all the different people involved with Jon Hassell records and all the different records Jon Hassell was on. I'm going to leave it to Alex's video. You should check that out to sort of get more into these. But when I really want, I'm in a really specific mood for ambient music that is just weird and sort of out there, and I reach for the music of Jon Hassell. And may he rest in peace, rest in power. I also have Dream Theory and Malaya. This is on the original on EG. And of course, Possible Musics, Hassell and Eno. I think with these records, it was really. Is it true that Eno and Hassell, like Hassell sort of resented Eno for like almost taking his ideas or taking credit for his ideas, where it was really, this is all Jon Hassell in a lot of the ways. I guess Eno was playing on some of this. He was playing Prophet Synth, it looks like, but I don't know. That's what I always heard, that Hassell kind of resented him for taking credit, not to get on locking, and not sort of giving Hassell his due. Jon Hassell, I'm going to be looking for some more records. You know, when someone passes away, there's always the idiots pricing stuff at higher prices, just because, why not, I guess. And I'll have to put it in here, but someone made a comment in my Flying Nun video, like, what? How can you not show any Verlaines? Very true. Hallelujah, All the Way Home, original press on Flying Nun. Great band. This is not like some of my favorite Flying Nun stuff, but because it's sort of, it's not in this sort of punkish post-punk indie vein. It's sort of a different thing. It's hard to explain, but this is their classic record. Verlaines is from 1986, I think it is. And here's one I got at a record fair. A U.S. press of, what is this one called again? Juvenalia, right? This is 86, this must be 85, Hallelujah, All the Way Home. I could have that right, but this is on Homestead. Another big label of the 80s who deserves some recognition. I think I should do a video on Homestead. I have tons of Homestead records. Verlaines, you have to definitely talk about the Verlaines when you talk about the music of New Zealand. So. Next video this week I've been talking about a long time. Contest time. I'm going to do my 300th episode of Searching for a Thread, my radio show, and I have a whole bunch of stuff to go along with that. I'll announce the contest and sort of the theme and the idea, and we'll get into that. So thanks, VC. I hope everyone's great out there, enjoyed your 4th of July, and congrats to all the winners of the contest that Steve put on. His New Beginnings contest. Thank you again, Steve, for Black Power. Youth Power. Blackfoot. Youth Power. Black Power also is Zamrock. But really appreciate that. Anyway, take care, everybody, and I'll see you next time.